back at Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas, where the NBA Finals begin tonight. The New York Knicks, first time since 1999. And the San Antonio Spurs, who won their first title in that same year of 99. And a good look inside at the multicolored T-shirts adorning every seat in this arena as we get set for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. It's the Inside the NBA crew here as we welcome you to NBA Tip-Off presented by American Express. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal, with Kenny the Jet Smith, with Charles Barkley. Can't tell you how meaningful this is for all of us, how pumped up we are to be here and finally be a part of the NBA Finals. You can tell it's big because everybody's been shopping. Wow, these are some nice fits.
No, it's just new to you.
No, it's not just new to you. How you doing?
JCPenney big man section. Available for all sizes.
Huge man section. Hey, look, this is when you get to the NBA Finals. Shaq, look, I know it's not the ultimate goal, but when you got there for the first time, how did you feel?
Ernie, I know you so well. I knew you was going to ask me that, so I'm really prepared for this answer. Because I'm going to probably talk about it later about having your emotions in check. First time I got here, I was just happy to be here. And that's the wrong type of emotions to have if you win the championship. And the reason why we beat the great Michael Jordan, listen, Hakeem was a little bit better than me. He would do what he do, I would do what I do. But I thought we had a chance. So when we made it to the finals, I was happy to be here. We had 14 days off. Shout out to D. Scott. He had me in Atlanta. He had me in New York. And, we
went to New York and Atlanta in between.
Yes.
No way we were losing.
So, I'm anxious to see how the players are, how the emotions are. Knicks had a lot of days off. San Antonio, they got people here that could tell you what to do and how to do it. But first time I was here, I was so happy. I was so elated. However, after we got our butt spanked by the Houston Rockets, I always said to myself, if I ever go back to the finals, I'm going to put on a performance so great, it'll be no doubt that I will be a champion.
What was the satisfaction, Charles, in reaching that point?
Well, number one, it's a great accomplishment to get there, number one. I was on PTI today talking about the really only regret I have about my career is in Game 1, I was so passive. I was like, you know what, we were at home. I said, let me get these other guys started. Because Will Bonner-Carter asked me my advice for Victor Wembanyama. I said, be aggressive. I said to myself, let me let these other guys get going. And they never got going because the bright lights are different.
Yeah.
So if I'm a star, I'm like, no, you boys get on my back. We're going to get going. That's the biggest regret I've ever had in my career, to be honest with you.
How about it, Kenny?
I think overall the emotional elation of winning the conference championship, because it's the first time that you do something on the court and you still celebrate that. They give you trophies. They have a whole meeting and they tell you everything that's great about you. So that first time I'm like Shaq, I was a little, and then playing against the Knicks for me, I was a little starstruck. And then the second time, I was what they call a glorified role guy, meaning if you don't play well, you can make us lose. So for me, I was like, I'm going to be ultra aggressive in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. I was fortunate enough to break the NBA record in threes because I'm like, I'm going to be aggressive and not be passive and not wait for Hakeem or Clyde to get going. I'm going to get us going if I can and help us get into a thing. So the second time, you're a little different than the first. I was like Shaq. I was like, whoa, I'm here in Madison Square Garden. Whoa. It took me like 4 games to really come into the series.
And one more thing, Ernie, the cheering is different. Of course, when you're a local team, you win all that. But when you make it to the finals, it's different. You get to eat free at restaurants. We had a parade at Disney. Everything's just different. People treat you like you've already won the championship.
Yes.
Right. So if you don't have that proper focus,
did y'all have people when we landed in Houston, and there was at the airport
50,000 people out there.
We landed after winning. It was just so
after winning
crazy.
the West.
After winning the West, and so like that's a little overwhelming.
This will be the 35th finals rematch in NBA playoff history. These two teams in 1999 played 5 games. San Antonio won the series 4-1. Neither team scored 100 points. The Knicks didn't even score 90 in that series. So San Antonio won it, and now we go to this year, and the Knicks are just steamrolling folks. 11 straight wins by a total of 262 points. Anytime the Spurs have knocked out the reigning champs. So here we go. Knicks and Spurs, game 1. What do you expect to see from New York in trying to contend with Victor Wembanyama?
I think they are going to let him get his. Because listen, Ernie, he's 7'5". You're not going to stop him. You know, they'll probably allow him to shoot some jumpers and say, you know, hope he misses. But listen, if he's, you know, picking and rolling and getting to the middle of the paint, you're not going to stop him. You know, Karl-Anthony Towns also has to make him play defense. You know, you just can't let him sit back there and be the, you know, general on defense. But if I was them, I would let him get his and cut everybody else down because, you know, as much as we talk about, you know, Victor Wembanyama, Champagny has been playing great. Champagny, Fox has been coming off the bench and playing right, and my two pit bulls, Castle and Vassell, has been playing great. So, you know, if you try to double and triple and do all that, everybody's going to get involved.
Yeah, you know, you could do all those things, but Victor affects the game in so many other ways.
And real quick, Kenny, to Chuck's point about come out aggressive. You know, look at his game 1 numbers against Portland and against OKC, and look at the loss to Minnesota.
Yeah, but what drives me crazy about this Spurs team, Ernie, they forget about him a lot of times. If you go back and look at that OKC series, they gave him the ball early in game 1. They didn't do it in game 2. They didn't do it in game 3. They gave it to him every time in game 4 to start the game. Then you go to game 5. He did not take his first shot to 3 minutes ago in the first quarter, and then they lost that game. Then they came and gave it to him in game 6, and he dominated. Yeah. If the Spurs get him the ball early, I heard guys talking about he was tired on tele. I said, this dude ain't tired. First of all, he's 22. But when they give him the ball early, it helps his offense and his defense.
I hope that I didn't really throw your train of thought off by going to that, but so continue.
Well, you can't think more than twice?
No, I can't. I'm fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You're the only one smoking over here. But I think this. Today is Independence Day because the alien has arrived in the NBA Finals. And there is one way to try to figure out how to stop him because it's not just offensively. It is defensively. It is impact in passing. It's also your thought process of what plays you're going to run. It changes everything. The guy changes every dynamic of the basketball game, and that is what makes him special. And even in the game 1, when he only had 11 points, he had 17 attempts. It was because of the good defense that stopped him as well. Physicality at times, yes, that does bother him. But when he's making his mid-range jump shot, he becomes unguardable. It's not even the 3, it's the mid-range, right inside, right at the free throw line when they throw it to him. Then he gets all of these. These are just, I'm just special. But those are only once in a while. But the bulk of his shots will come from elbow in, and that's where he's dangerous.
Let's talk about him on the defensive end because obviously defensive player of the year. But this is a Knicks team that's been owning the paint, second chance points, they're rebounding more, they're +9. So how will his presence affect that and maybe negate some of those advantages the Knicks have had so far?
I don't think they're going to negate it. I think it's a great advantage for the Knicks. To me, this series is going to come down to Karl-Anthony Towns because his ability to shoot the ball and keep Victor from sitting back there playing safety. Look, he's back there playing safety. He's not going to be able to do this with Karl-Anthony Towns. You look at all these plays. He's not guarding Hartenstein or a Holmgren. This is what I think one of as great as they are, this is when, to me, this is when Karl-Anthony Towns is going to really be effective because he's the best shooting guy, big guy in the league. He's going to keep his floor spread. That's why I think going to help Brunson, OG, Mikal Bridges, Hart, all those guys. That's one of the reasons the Knicks are great on the offensive board in the paint, Ernie, because the big guy has to guard Karl-Anthony.
How much would you play Mitchell Robinson then?
Well, he gonna have to play him.
I understand what you're saying, but don't forget they switch everything. So what's going to happen? When the guard gets by, Victor's going to get the guard, and the guard's going to stay back. They're not going to allow Karl-Anthony Towns to get as many wide open threes as you think. In my opinion,
I'm talking about when he has to guard him, he's going to be the best at spreading the floor because you have to guard Karl-Anthony Towns. I wouldn't put him in pick and roll because when you do put him in pick and roll, they can switch it. But you have Karl-Anthony Towns, give him the ball at different places on the floor. Now listen, Victor gonna have to guard this. He's got, and now I think Big Cat can put the ball down on the floor, and right here, go to the offensive board. Listen, Victor's a great player, but Karl-Anthony Towns is the best shooting big man we have in this league, and you have to respect that three-point shooting ability.
Well, Wemby is a game changer. So is Jalen Brunson. So what would San Antonio's, what would their strategy be? What would their tact be in trying to limit Brunson?
Well, Jalen Brunson, arguably is a little bull. He's able to get to where he wants to and get to his spot, get his shot off, and he is a post player at 6 foot because he plays inside the paint. Every possession, his feet touch the paint, and that is what makes him difficult. Then he starts shooting those long-range threes. But Ernie, this is the one thing that could change. There's a guy on the San Antonio Spurs that if I was playing with, I would just walk over to him and like, Castle, this is your series. We need you to limit him to good games. Your physicality, your strength, your ability to guard will separate us. And look at me, Stephon, it'll make us NBA champions if you defend. All you have to do is defend, and it'll make us NBA champions.
But the Spurs,
let's go.
But the Spurs win by committee. You're forgetting Vassell, you're forgetting Fox, you're forgetting Champagne.
No, but he's talking about on offense, Shaq.
Offense or defense?
No, on offense. No,
I'm talking about defensively
guarding
Brunson.
Those guys you mentioned, Champagne and Vassell, they good on offense.
Right.
But he's right. And Castle said in the interview, he said,
my point is you can throw 4 different guys in.
I know that, but it's going to be up to Castle. He's the only one who's a lockdown defender, and maybe Dylan Harper, but Castle is the bulldog.
And you heard him say it. He said, I welcome an opportunity like this. This is what I want to do.
The great Patrick Ewing right there, America.
There's nothing wrong with that. Those leads right there.
No, it's in London. He's going to London.
Shaq, leave that man alone. When you get that age, you're going to be wearing a hat like that, too.
Shout out to all the guys. Sham has been playing well. Guys, Cat's been playing well, directing the offense from the top of the key. But we all know this is a different ball game. What you've done doesn't matter. It's what you do now in these finals. So they're up there. The Spurs are up there. We're going to see, who's the better team today in Game 1. But listen, all that stuff don't matter. We all know that it's what you do in this series. Because I've seen a lot of guys have great years and then get to the finals and they don't show up. I'm not saying that's going to happen to the Knicks. I'm just saying we all know because we all been to the finals. This is a different ball game right here.
Kenny, let's talk about Cat because I'm not going to say he's quietly done something, but when you take a look at the stats for the playoffs so far, his name is all over those stats. He's 4th in rebounding, 13th in assists, 8th in field goal percentage, 8th from 3, number 10 in blocks. He has been so versatile during this playoff run.
Yes, he's been super versatile, and to the fact that, also, like you said, the bench has played well, and other guys have played well as well, coming into the game. OG has shot the ball well when he's played. Mikal Bridges has played fantastic. Shamit's come in the game. So it allowed Cat to be more versatile. However, I don't believe that this is the Cat that can win an NBA championship. I think that the Cat that has to show up in this series is going to have to be more offensively dominant because the wings on the perimeter of the San Antonio Spurs are really defensive oriented. And so now, who will have an advantage? And that will be, can you make an advantage and make Wemby come out? Or when he comes out, you're physically strong enough to bump him off the line to still score. And that is going to be the Cat, to me, 22 to 25 points a game. That's the Cat that the Knicks will need to win.
Especially if San Antonio does have success in limiting what Jalen Brunson does in this series.
Well, Jalen, he going to have his hands full with Castle. But like I say, I still think the kid's going to be Cat. If you go back and look at all those plays that you showed, this guy is such a great shooter. He is going to make Wemby take him away from the basket. You guys talk about all the points and everything. We're showing Spurs highlights now. I have no idea why.
They're playing the Knicks.
Yeah. But I'm saying I was going to use this Cat has been, the only thing I hate about his game at time is like a couple of those times he had James Harden guard him. Don't let James Harden ever guard a big guy like that. But man, this guy's versatility, that's why I think he's going to be the key to the series if the Knicks is going to win. Wemby has to play his jump shot. And then, Shaq said, well, they're going to switch. That's when he go down low. Do not let Wemby stand back there and play safety. That's going to be the key to this whole series, in my opinion.
Are you talking about Cat shooting out because he's going up against a guy that's bigger than him? You want him to step outside? Because me and you jump on him a lot for shooting too many jumpers. So
yeah, but he don't have to shoot it. He can just take Victor away from the basket because Victor has to guard him. But listen, that's his secret. He's able to go inside and outside. That's a nice super weapon to have. If they're going to play little guys on him, take him inside. But to me, he can be a decoy against Victor. Because Victor wants to stand back there and play safety the entire time.
This team, New York, has faced 3 teams that have gone the full 7, okay? For the second straight series, 8 days off between games. How much of a factor, because you think back to game 1 against Cleveland, they fall behind by 22 before they stage that miraculous comeback. What do you expect any lingering situation to be after you've got 8 days off?
I don't know how much lingering the Knicks will have, but Ernie, from personal experience, it's hard to keep this face for 8 days before a game. Look at me, Ernie. It's hard to keep the face. 2-3 days, I got this face. 8 days, it's hard. So you get 3 or 4
so give me
days
this. Now
off.
that we're on camera, give me the face again.
This face right here, okay, who we playing? All right, I'm ready to go kill somebody. I'm ready to bust somebody.
How many more days? 4 more days? Okay.
8 is difficult. I don't care what nobody says. Let me finish. 3 or 4 days is not that difficult. So 8, you take 4 days off. You have to try to somehow stay in that killer mentality mode. Tell them.
Yeah, just for the record, after 3 days you ugly, and after 8 days you still damn ugly.
And after 8 days I won the championship.
Okay, but you still ugly after 8 days.
Tell them, Kenny.
2 or 4. But I will say this. I'm really looking to see the non-Wemby minutes because the Knicks can really win those minutes when he's not on the floor. I think their bench and their second unit is much bigger, faster, more athletic, and they sneak in 2 or 3 of their starters in that second unit. So Cornette and those guys coming in for the Spurs have not traditionally made a big, significant impact all the way in every game, except for the block.
I was going to say.
Unbelievable block that probably might have saved the series. However, the Knicks' second unit has been tremendous, and that is where when the non-Wemby minutes come in and Cat gets to play by himself, that to me, they're really good.
And speaking of the Luke Cornette moment,
this wasn't a moment. This was the series. In my opinion, if this was a dunk or a 3-point play,
yes.
I think OKC wins the game.
I agree with you.
I'm telling you, that right there was the play of the game, in my opinion.
Because San Antonio went back on the other side and connected, too.
But I'm saying, if you get it down to 4, because they were making a run.
But you see with the bench knew that. Yeah. Like, when you're in the game, you know that play is the momentum changer.
Yeah, that was a moment. I said, oh man, that's the end of OKC right there.
Yeah, it would have been a 4-point game, turned out to be an 8-point game at that point after the block and the bucket by Castle.
That was the play of the game.
LeBron Cornette.
Exactly. So we get set for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. You're watching us on ESPN right now. The game itself will be on ABC. We'll switch over to ABC at the top.
Luke Stevens texts us all the time.
You don't be memorizing these
I remember everything. I'm not just a pretty fit. There goes Spike Lee.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for identifying him. I have no idea.
Al Paladonia.
Look at Spike.
Al gets more shout-outs than anybody else. There's the face to maintain that.
Finals MVP.
You got to maintain that for 8 days.
He's ugly all the time, America.
Kenny Teller, I took 3-time Finals MVP face.
He ugly all the time, not just 3 days.
Unanimous decision MVP face.
You had to say this series boils down to this factor. What is it, Shaq?
The domination of Victor Wembanyama. I agree with Chuck. He has to come. Let his presence be felt. Let everybody know I am the best big man in the world. I'm the most dominant big man in the world. And I'm not trying to get guys involved. I'm coming out here to show you what the alien is able to do on this planet we call Earth. And the other guys, they got to follow. Castle, Purcell, Fox, and Barkley, they got to follow. But I like to see Victor Wembanyama dominate.
I would say it would be the non-Wembanyama minutes on the floor. The Knicks have to win those decisively. But however, when you see Alvarado come in, and you see Clarkson, and and you see and McBride, those guys have to win big with Mitchell Robinson because they'll leave in Cat and they'll bring Shaman in. Those guys have to win that because Wembanyama affects the game in so many areas, on the defensive end, the offensive end, as well as the passing. So most of the time you're just worrying about a guy scoring. With Wembanyama, you're worrying about the totality of his game.
Yeah, to me it's about big Karl-Anthony Towns. His ability to shoot the ball and keep the floor spread, I think it's going to be a huge advantage for the Knicks because as great as Victor is, he can't slack off on Karl-Anthony Towns. And that's going to free up all those other guys to drive to the basket because I think the Knicks have a huge advantage with Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. I think they're going to be huge because those two guys for the Spurs, they're really good offensively, but I think the size and the ability of those two guys is going to be a huge advantage. But Karl-Anthony Towns' ability to spread the floor is going to be huge. Now, Brunson's going to have to play well because even though Castle is a great defender, Brunson going to have to get his numbers. He's going to have to get 25 to 30. But if Castle locks him down, it's going to be a long series for the Knicks.
And Shaq, last thing. Cat cannot have those silly fouls.
100%.
You know, he has gone through these last two series without making the silly fouls. But he has prone in his career to get in foul trouble early.
And not only that, I know you're playing against a great shot blocker, but excuse me, you got to be decisive. Don't be timid out there. You got to take it to him.
But one advantage I think he's going to have is Victor's not a post-up guy to let him get those dumb fouls.
But guys, all of these players, even though they haven't had finals experience, most of them, they have grown up so much over the last month or so, just in terms of experience. And you look at San Antonio, a bunch of guys who've never been in a playoff game, and now they find themselves in the finals with 18 games of experience.
It's different though, Ernie, because the NBA Finals, the only people playing is two teams now. There's no basketball. There's no high school basketball. There's no college basketball. There's no NBA basketball. It's just you. You're on the island by yourself. Everyone in the world is talking about you. So yes, it is different. That pressure, that acknowledgement is different. When Wemby talked to Hakeem Olajuwon and said, yes, you know, the time is now. You don't have to wait because you're young. He also, when you add to that is, if you don't win it now, it's no guarantee because you're young, you're going to be back. So yes, when you have your opportunity, you have to seize it in those moments.
And you know how they say pressure busts pipes? This type of pressure you can never prepare for. Let's just say you go down a game or go down 2 games. Your mental start to change. Everything starts to, because you know, like, hey, we're at the finals, but if we don't win, you know you have to live with that. So the pressure is so different. And again, doesn't matter what you did in the regular season, the playoff, this is the finals. These lights are hotter.
He's Jones is the mayor of San Antonio.
That's right.
And sorry to spring that on you, but we just felt
well before you were mayor.
For background, you needed to see
history.
What you're dealing with here with Chuck in San
I learned
Antonio.
a long time ago, you can't teach courage, you can't teach class, and Mr. Barkley reminds us of that often.
That's John Jay High School right there.
That is John Jay.
That's right.
Mayor, I am so glad to be back in your beautiful city.
You're welcome.
Everybody, I took my walk today. Everybody was fantastic.
That's right.
They know I'm just joking around.
Were you the only one on the walk?
No, it was some more. There's a lot of people. Somebody took a picture of me doing my exercises.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, I do these
What the
things.
hell is that?
I'm picking up a chair.
Yeah.
I do sets of 25.
Picking up random chairs wherever you go?
Yeah, I was down on the river walk today. I'm sorry, I was down on the creek walk today.
No, see, there he goes.
Mayor,
That looks like vandalism to me.
Mayor, you know that's not a creek. That's a creek. That's not a river.
It is a beautiful river walk.
It's a creek.
It's a river.
Well, look, we are very proud of our river walk. We've got so much to
Beautiful people
enjoy
down
here.
there.
In fact, the #1 tourist destination in the entire state.
What
You know what also brings people here? So San Antonio is Military City,
Yes.
USA.
Yes.
As an Air Force veteran, Iraq War veteran, I'm very proud to say that every airman, every guardian comes through Lackland Air Force Base. So we are so proud of our city, and we know what, we even welcome you. Okay, we even welcome you.
And don't forget Fort Sam Houston.
And that's right.
You know,
Cole High School,
Fort
that's
Sam
right.
Houston.
Mayor, I first came here when I was 13 years old. I played at the Hemisphere Arena. I was in a Pepsi Hot Shot contest. And I went to visit the Alamo, Mr. Barkley, and it stuck with me. Because the Alamo is not where people, it was where people had courage to go on and fight.
They died, Kenny.
No, they fought to the end.
All of them.
And that is what it's about. And I remembered that at 13 when I went back to school.
So you remembered the Alamo.
I remembered the Alamo.
Well done.
Have you been back?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have. I've played in Houston. Remember, we come back here a lot.
So 1999, you graduate from John Jay High School.
That's right.
And that's the year San Antonio beat the Knicks
Yes.
for the NBA championship.
That's
What do you remember about that team?
So we are so excited because San Antonio is going to championship like it's 1999.
Okay.
What I remember from that, of course, David Robinson, Timmy, Sean Elliott, Avery Johnson, Steve Kerr, the greats, right? We're so excited. And this is how I know we're going to win. So in 1999, when I graduated from John Jay High School, I was number 6 in my class. We will get our 6th championship this
So you're an Avery
series.
Johnson fan wearing
Yeah.
number 6. You know what? Most mayors from both cities have little side bets that they have to wear. Do you and the mayor of New York City have a bet going on?
We do have something. We're waiting to reveal it, though.
Okay.
But, we're looking forward to winning. So either way.
Well, y'all up 2-0, he might change his bet if y'all up 2-0.
So obviously you've been a fan since 1999. Can you compare this team with the other Spurs team, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Avery, like you
Well,
said earlier?
as you and I were talking, and even with Mr. Barkley over there, I mean, Wemby is his own kind of beast. We're so excited though about the strength of the team, the talent, and it's a very young team. So you all make sure that you book your hotels and your flights here often because you're going to be in San Antonio for many years.
I like that.
She's probably right.
Yeah, what does it mean for the city,
Yeah.
Mayor, to have this kind of attention, to have this kind of event in your city?
We are a basketball town. We are so proud of this team. And as you know, this is the No Drama Spurs, right? So we're proud of how well they play on and off the court. That's why we welcome them, and that's why we wrap our arms around them, and we are excited to cheer them on tonight.
We appreciate you stopping by to join us here on NBA Tip-Off.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I'm not going to lie. It's a great city.
I'm waiting for that corgi to prove you wrong. Spurs are going to win this.
Am I wrong, or is there something that's been brought for the Chuckster?
Yes. Well, I mean, Chuck has lots of thoughts about the churros. We know he's on a diet, but we know he's not really on a diet. So here are the churros.
Ooh, that's
Chucky churros.
That's a load of
Mayor,
churros.
Mayor, he was on road. Now he's on ore.
Oh.
He's eating everything. It's backwards. He's eating backwards. Ore. It's not road anymore.
How is it, Chuckster?
Your churros are off the chain.
Can't mess up a churro.
You can't
Oh, you can mess one up. The dough. Oh my gosh.
Man.
Thank you, man.
Thank y'all.
Churros hard
Welcome to
hitting,
San
Joe.
Antonio. Go Spurs, go!
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We appreciate your time. Thank you. Protect the churros, says Chuckster. That's good stuff. And
Churros are so
churros are good stuff, too.
They might be bad.
Out to San Antonio Cole. Joe
Shaqtin
Skila.
A Fool.
We should go by your hospital while we're
Shaqtin A
here.
Fool.
The Ramos boy,
Shaqtin A
Jingo.
Fool. We can't
Kim
hear
Ramos.
anything.
Let's see what you got, big fella.
Number 4, the Cavaliers. Guys, they got caught daydreaming on defense. Music,
This
Kenny.
is crazy, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Not with a minute left. Oh, right there. There he is. They're not playing any defense right there. That's what she said. Taylor was like, they didn't play any defense.
Shout out to my boy Travis Kelce. I love you, brother.
Look at the thought bubbles. Islands.
What are you guys doing?
Number 3, SGA.
Never. I've never seen him on
Spurs
this.
fans, was this a flop or a foul?
I've never seen him on this.
Oh, man, he found me so hard.
That's not a flop.
That's a flop.
No, he's underneath him. What are you supposed to do?
He's not underneath him.
He's underneath
He's
him.
not underneath him. Cut it out.
He's not a flopper.
Cut it out. He's not underneath him.
I disagree with that narrative.
Oh, that's why they're asking the question. Number 2, Carter Bryant.
Not
I
Carter
get it,
Bryant.
Rook. When you gotta go, You gotta go.
He went to the bathroom in the middle of the game?
Yes.
In a regular bathroom? Why you go to the
bathroom?
Because it was closer.
But hold on. I got a question. Who's recording that?
Yeah.
At least
That's a good point. What kind of freak is recording that? Damn freak.
At least he washed his hands.
What'd you say, Chuck?
That damn freak. Man, go to the bathroom on his own.
Paul Pierce,
Number one, James Harden. Have you ever seen barbecue chicken cooked in a Brunson burner? Barbecue chicken alert.
Oh, man, it's not going to be that
Barbecue
easy.
chicken alert.
Come on, man.
Barbecue chicken alert.
Come on, man. I cannot hear anything, but I'm telling you what.
Hey, man, Brunson made some tough shots.
No, ain't no tough shot.
Yeah, they are.
Cook that man.
That ain't tough.
Cook that man. No resistance on defense, Chuck. Cook that man. Barbecue chicken alert.
Come on, man.
You gotta leave James alone.
Leave James. Come on, man. Stop it.
Look them fingers when you
Is
see
that over
James.
the top in your
Yeah, that's
opinion?
over the top. That's over the
No,
Chuckster?
man. You played these 5 guys out there.
In saying that this is the closest that Chuck's. Oh, come on.
That's okay. I'm so devastated. I'm so devastated. My life sucks.
Does Tyrell ring a bell? Is he?
No, Tyrell. Nobody named that damn kid Tyrell. I told you.
How many of you got those in the
Oh,
house?
that's been at the house twice.
Yeah.
It's been at the house. It's been at the crib. Hey, what's up? Good to see you again.
So, I don't know if there's a sign-up sheet somewhere, but put me down for 6 more games like that
You're not going to need them.
as the NBA Finals begin with a New York victory on the road in San Antonio in come-from-behind fashion. They win it by 10, and if you're scoring at home, that is 7 straight road wins by double digits. We've never seen that before in NBA playoff history. It's inside the NBA. It's presented by Lily, Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. How did the Knicks win this game, Shaq?
They did it by effort. A lot of guys play well. Shout out to Hart, 15 rebounds. Cat played well with 18. Listen, they just did it. Brunson had his moment in the third quarter where he took over. I admit, before the game, game 1's always a fill-out game. I was anxious to see how he's going to do against those tough 4 defenders. He just showed me, Kenny and Chuck, that he's ready for the lights. He's ready for the big lights. Third quarter and fourth quarter, he carried him a little bit, but the others for the Knicks definitely stepped up. Again, shout out to Hart for 15 rebounds. Shamet, hit some timely threes in the first half. They all play well. Alvarado, they did it by committee, and that's how you win championships, by committee.
Well, I really thought the pace of the game slowed down. And that, to me, and just in my opinion, that's the advantage of the Knicks. Because when you deliberate and you can get the ball to the people that you wanted to in the key moments, they're better. But when you let San Antonio go up and down because of their youthful exuberance, they can just play park ball. And they can be in transition where Harper and Champagny and all of the players that they have, Vassell, they all could just get into the rhythm of the game easier. I would make young players make big decisions, and that's what the Knicks did. They made the young players of the Spurs start to make big decisions on the offensive end.
How big is this win for New York on the road?
It's humongous. But the key to the game was Karl-Anthony Towns. He was spectacular. I mean, Brunson's going to get a lot of love. He scored the most points. But if you actually watch that game, the biggest difference in that game was Karl-Anthony Towns, him getting Wemby away from the basket, him posting up, him getting offensive rebounds. That's when they made their run in the third quarter. They were down 14, and he was just like, and this was I was impressed with. When he's aggressive like this, because Wemby can't, I was surprised he was getting around Wemby this easy, to be honest with you.
Chuck.
I mean, he took it at him all night long. And then Josh Hart was fabulous. Shamet made some big plays. Everybody chipped. This to me was a bench game that won. Like I say, obviously that right there, he got 2 or 3 offensive rebounds. This is another 3-point play. This is when they made their run. This is it. And Alvarado played well, but Karl-Anthony Towns, what I said, if they're going to win this series, he's going to have to be the best player on the court for the Knicks. And he was the best player on the court for the Knicks tonight, in my opinion. And those other guys chipped in. But, man, what a great win.
It was a huge fourth quarter, though, for Jalen Brunson as well. 13 of his 30 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but when they made the run from down 14, that's when you won the game. He was the closer, but when they were down 14, that was when Karl-Anthony Towns made that run.
No doubt. So here it is, if you're just joining us.
See,
and
get
if
in
you are,
transition.
shame on you.
If you want to get in transition with these guys, they're too good to me They understand how to play with this type of rhythm. Make them make these decisions. You got Harper right here. This is back. Hey, I'm back in the schoolyard.
How good is this kid, too? Man alive.
He's not as good as his daddy yet, but he's pretty damn good. And I tell you what, I don't know.
Shaqtin for 3. He had 5 of those in the first half.
This is an offense that we got lucky right here with Brunson.
Yeah.
But you know, it was interesting. I guarantee you, the coach said something at halftime. Why are you guys leaving Shaqtin? Why is he wide open? And he didn't get any wide open shots in the second half.
Brunson again goes down, this time with the ankle, and he turns it, and then Cornette steps on it.
Well, that's accidental.
Oh, it is.
He would stay in the game, obviously.
Tough shot maker, this kid, I tell you. It doesn't matter who you put on him.
Shaqtin again.
Why are you leaving him?
Right over Jose Alvarado. Shaqtin again over Shaman.
Why are you leaving this dude? This is just stupid, Ernie.
Wasn't my defensive scheme. I'm sorry.
He's like, why these fools keep leaving me?
They had a 55-48 halftime lead, De'Aaron Fox. No, but look at Stephon Castle.
And that's what I mean. You get these guys in transition. You get them when you're trying to find them. They're too good, too talented. But when you make them slow down and make real deliberate decisions.
Yeah, this is right here, man. This is Cat with Cat. So they're down 11 right here.
Well,
and watch Cat. This one, Cat just takes over the game.
They were down 14 at one point, and here's Cat again.
And this is when Cat took over the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't know what, this is awful defense.
Come on,
A 25-11 finish to that quarter that tied the game going to the fourth quarter.
At that point, man, how about calling over the back one time? And then he made 2 big threes in a row, Ernie.
OG.
He stepped up in the
Oh, this was tough. This is tough.
And also, Ernie, kudos to the Knicks, because when they got down 14 instead of pouting, they just came back and played hard.
Oh, this one I thought Wemby was going to wield it to Spurs to win. He did that 2 times in a row.
Yeah, and they did take the lead back at 95-94, but there's Brunson for 3. And then Brunson with the spin and
That's good defense right there.
over Vassell.
That's just a hell of a shot right there. Ain't nothing you can do about that.
He finishes, does Brunson, with 30 points, 12 out of 31 from the floor, and 2 out of 9 from 3.
Yeah, that's not a good percentage.
But the Knicks win it 105-95. Wemby 26, 12, and 3 blocks, and there's the line on Karl-Anthony Towns with 18, 12, and 4.
But Ernie, that's actually what's disappointing. See, that's why I hate analytics, Ernie. Because if you were just sitting at home minding your own business, and Brunson had 30, Brunson didn't have a good game.
And a good fourth quarter.
He had a good fourth quarter. But if you just looked at Wemby's numbers, you say, man, Wemby had a great game. Wemby did not have a good game.
No.
That's why you can't go strictly by numbers. Wemby's numbers look impressive, but he did not have a good game.
6 out of 21 from the floor for Wemby. So San Antonio, at home, drops the opener. Here's their head coach, Mitch Johnson.
Missed a few shots early, and we got to get him moving in space and towards the rim, whether that's on rolls or running in transition, but we need the pressure on the rim and the force in the paint. And then they did a good job, obviously, being physical and showing crowds, but, you know, we need to do a better job of establishing that early on, for sure.
Fourth row on the right. Rachel.
Hey, Mitch. Just wondering about some of the early in the shot clock threes and what you thought that was about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any right now that I felt were egregious. There was definitely a stretch there in the second quarter, I know, where, you know, we want to play with pace and we want to hunt threes in transition, but we also want those to be in rhythm and feel like they're our shot. And there might have been some questionable ones. I'll have to go back and look at the film. But again, it gets tough when you get nitpicky with that stuff. I'll have to go back and look. But we definitely, again, didn't have enough pressure on the paint all night, whether that was in transition or in the half court. And we got to make sure we're still putting force in the paint. And we'll still get our threes up with that. But we can't work outside in. We got to go more inside out for sure.
10-point win for the New York Knicks. 12 straight wins now in this postseason as they take the opener on the road. Karl-Anthony Towns, we've talked about the fact that he had a huge game here for the Knicks in this Game 1 win, and he joins us now. Kat, thank you very much for taking a couple of minutes. My question to you is this. Look, you have an 18-12 game. You go 7 out of 15. But you were crucial in that comeback in the third quarter. Have you played a better game than this, given the circumstances, game 1 of the NBA Finals?
I don't know, but I will say, I'm upset I didn't shoot better. I was a little rusty, I feel like, but what I do say is I was really proud of the defense I brought out here tonight. So it was always about the defense. The defense was what won us this game, because our offense really didn't show up. But the defense did, and that's why we're leaving here with a win on a night where we didn't shoot well.
Jersey, great game tonight. Are you making a conscious effort that if he comes up to you, you're going to give him that, little jab step and drive right by him? Because you did that beautifully tonight. I was actually surprised how easy you made it look out there. I mean, like I said, are you making that a conscious effort?
I'm just reading what the defense gives me. Early in the game, I just wanted to be aggressive in my playmaking, and of course, like you told me before, be aggressive in scoring too. Take my shots early, and I just saw something right there that could work. It worked early, and I just wanted to continue to find ways to get to that if I had an opportunity. But again, it's all about winning. So just making those winning plays, impacting winning every single possession was all I was thinking about.
Well, Cat, number one, you were fabulous tonight. I thought you were the MVP of the game. I know Brunson finished strong, but you were the guy who got him back when y'all were down 14. My question is, you got 48 hours. You and Brunson are the leaders of this team.
Yeah.
What are y'all gonna say and do and get rid of all the BS that y'all gonna have to listen to for the next 48 hours and get greedy and don't settle for a split?
I mean, block the noise and continue to worry about us. I said it before, I'll say it again. Every game we should be stepping in here, it should be 0-0. It should never be us thinking that we got 1 game or 2 games, 3 games, it doesn't matter. 0-0, that desperation, that energy that you need to bring on the first game in game 1, we should be bringing that every single game. So we'll try to communicate that as much as possible. The team has responded in the 12 games we've won in a row. So just staying in the present, not thinking about what happened in the past, not thinking about what we could be in the future, just staying right now in the present.
Congratulations, first of all, Kat. Secondly, you guys have played 4 games in about 20-something days, 23 days.
Yeah.
And now you go from the conference finals to the NBA finals.
Yeah.
What was the difference in terms of intensity, effort, things that even possibly surprised you about game 1 and being in your first NBA final?
To be honest with y'all, I don't want to sound sugarcoating or anything like that, but Shaq, you would know what I'm saying. I don't know what it was, but I just felt a calm and a peace that, I don't know, had to come from the woman above. So I felt really confident about today. I felt good. I felt like a kid. It felt like it was just fun out here. This is something that as a kid you always dream about. You always hope that you just hope to be an NBA player, let alone to be in the NBA finals. And all day it was just a weird feeling. It felt like I was a kid getting ready to go play my Saturday AAU games and Sunday AAU games. And in a way, I felt like I was seeing her in the stands, and it was fun. It was really fun, and it was really comforting, because game 1 of the NBA Finals, you're told how the pressure is going to be and everything is, and I don't know. It felt like a certain presence was here that was very comforting and very loving, and I felt like I could have fun out here in game 1 of the NBA Finals, which is the weirdest thing, because you would expect to have the pressure at the highest.
Yes, rest in peace to your beautiful mother.
I appreciate it.
This is the first time in a long time I've seen the team have 8 to 10 days off and not come out rusty. Did Mike Brown give you any days off? What was the routine? How did you guys stay so intact?
I talked about it in the media. It was more about just adjusting from going into the conference finals and then coming into the finals. I explained that we need to probably play more 5-on-5, get right back to it. So getting back to work quick was, I think, huge for us to not be as rusty. I don't think we, obviously we didn't shoot that well today, but it was definitely better than game 1 in Cleveland. So, I think it worked out for us. We really got competitive in practice. We had a lot of 5-on-5, and I think it helped us not be as rusty today, and also I think it also kept our minds sharp because our defense was great tonight, and that's what won the game.
Karl-Anthony Towns chalked this one up to a real great team victory in Game 1, and also to Moms. Moms always get it done, and they certainly did for you tonight in Game 1. Thanks a lot for the time, brother.
Congrats, Jersey. Great game.
Man, thank you, man. Thanks, Shaq.
You know, they did not play great tonight at all.
Yeah, 41% shooting, but they did hold San Antonio at a 36%.
Yeah, I was going to say neither team shot the ball particularly well, not just the Knicks. I think you could call the Knicks rust, yes, and you can call the San Antonio youth. But Game 2 is you start to get settled in about who you are and what you're going to be in this finals. And Game 2 is a very important, even if no matter who wins Game 1.
Well, it does
Game
matter
2
who wins.
Not necessarily, because
Not really.
because Game 2 you kind of settle in and start to be like, okay, well, and this is for me. I remember the first finals. I look up, and the NBC at the time were doing the fight. I see Dr. J. I see those players see Shaq, Chuck up here, like, whoa, wait, this is different. This inside the NBA is on the road. You know, Malik is here, Stephen A's, everyone's here. So it does give a different vibe to what's going on that first game, and you got to get used to that.
But you got to do a better job of making adjustments. Yeah. San Antonio definitely has to adjust. Coach said we got to get Victor the ball a little bit more inside. And for Victor, you got to play better. You know, the way he played, not good at all. 6 of 21 is not going to get it done. Shooting 10 3-pointers is not going to get it done. So you got to make some self-adjustments and some mental adjustments, and you have to say we cannot lose Game 2.
Let's hear from Wemby. He's at the podium right now.
Feel like you did what you needed to do in that regard, and how can you improve on that in Game 2?
No, of course not. I agree with the coach. And, I mean, it's the same. Every team guards differently, you know. I'm going to figure it out. It's, yeah, I mean, I was bad tonight. It's not more complicated than that.
Fourth row on the right, Tim.
Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press. Victor, you guys were up 12 or 14, whatever it was, midway through the third. When did you feel like things were slipping a little? Was it quick, or was it just simply they just started making more shots? Was it something just simple like that?
It was quick, I think. I think we let that one go.
First row here on the right, Mark.
Hey, Victor. Walking into this, your first ever finals game tonight, were there any jitters that bothered you from the beginning that perhaps could have affected you at all today?
I mean, it definitely felt special for sure, but nothing close that could be an excuse, you know. It was not a factor in our performance.
Fourth row on the left.
You know, I disagree with Kenny and Shaq on big moments. The reason basketball is very simple. It's about matchups. They're not going to be able to match up with Karl-Anthony Towns in this series, period. Especially if he plays aggressively. Because you saw, I said, man, he's going to drag Victor away from the basket. That's not going to change by Game 2. And if he's putting his head down and driving to the basket like that, it's going to be a tough matchup. Now, Victor's going to have a better game. Brunson didn't play good tonight. I love Bridges and OG. Now, Vassell and Champagne, they're great offensively, but if I'm in a dogfight, I want Bridges and OG with me.
Me and you had an argument on the show where you said great players don't play great all the time, and I disagreed with you. Tonight, the great players didn't play great. However, as a great player, you got to have those moments. Brunson had those moments. Karl-Anthony Towns had those moments.
Well, I disagree with you. Now, Wemby, remember when he put the Spurs ahead, I thought he was going to will them to this game.
I thought that too.
Yeah, I did. So he did his thing.
See, the thing that I didn't like, Victor was only trying to affect the game offensively. He did not affect the game defensively.
Because he can't,
today.
Kenny.
And yes,
he can't. No, he can't.
He can guard Cat.
He can. He didn't.
I'm not saying he can't. We're not saying he did or didn't.
But I'm still.
But
saying,
he didn't affect the game. He only tried to make his imprint to me on the offense.
Because he has to guard Cat out to the three-point line. He can't stand back there and play safety. Is my point. That's why I thought the guys from the Knicks would have an advantage, because he has to guard. Now I was very surprised that Cat was able to drive around him that easily, but he still has to play Cat. That's why he can't concentrate on defense.
I think he needs to be more aggressive and have better shot selection. I don't want my guys shooting 10 3-pointers in the finals. Not at all.
And a Karl-Anthony Towns that aggressive is a good
dangerous
thing when you are the New York Knicks, who take a 1-0 lead in this series, 105-95. We'll take a break, and when we come back, you'll hear from Mike Brown on the Knicks' 10-point win. Of the night, play of the night, Microsoft 365 with Copilot, and it's Jalen Brunson, part of an 11-0 finish to this game for the New York Knicks, who had trailed 95-94 with 2:15 to go. Brunson with 13 of his 30 in the fourth quarter, and the New York Knicks run their postseason winning streak to 12. Hey, can you believe that? And another double-digit win on the road as they take it by 10. As we return here on Inside the NBA, I want to hear from Mike Brown, whose team has a 1-0 lead. Here we go.
Play of Jalen Brunson, and obviously he had to deal with that knee injury early on, the ankle injury. We saw him go to the back. How did you see him come through this game? And then also, what do you expect the next 24 hours to look like before you have to go to battle again?
Yeah, I'm too emotional, and when I get caught up in injuries. So when he got hurt and he went out, Jose, let's go. And I was about to throw Tyler Kolek in the game too. He came back. Jalen's tough as nails, and to me, he didn't seem like he had any effect afterwards. I haven't talked to our medical people. He didn't look like it was bothering him down the stretch, and so I think he's okay. On top of that, our guys space the floor correctly. When you're playing against San Antonio and you have a defensive anchor like Wemby back there, your spacing has to be right. And if that ball gets sprayed, we know Wemby's in the paint. When the ball gets sprayed, guys got to make plays. And Josh was great with his quick DHOs. Guys were great shooting the ball. Guys were great having a second drive. And those are things you got to try to do against this team, because Wemby is going to gravitate towards the ball when you drive it. And, again, I give our guys credit, especially starting with Jalen, because he made some huge plays, which drew Wemby in even more. But give our guys credit for trying to play fast down the stretch and making sure the floor was spaced when Jalen drove the basketball.
Jalen Brunson's night. You see it quarter by quarter, and saved his best for the fourth when he scored 13 on 5 of 9 shooting. And keep in mind, look at that Cleveland sweep in the Eastern Conference Finals. He scored about twice as many points in the second half as he did in the first half. Same story tonight, Shaq, as he goes for 30 on the night. He goes for 13 in the fourth quarter. He had 11 at the half, 19 in the second half. He is the closer.
And that's when you especially want him to close in the fourth quarter, 13 points, 5 for 9, like you said. Listen, not only is he a great player, he is a tough shot maker. Again, at the beginning of the series, I was worried that, Spurs had a lot of defenders they can throw at him, but this guy right here, he never settles. He reads the defense. He plays great. He's a tough shot maker, as I just said earlier, and he's a great player. And in this moment, this is what great players do. Kenny has always said this is the time when you make a name for yourself. And listen, if he wins the championship for New York, he will be one of the greatest players to ever play for Knicks, and he will be the king of New York.
The one thing that, I think in San Antonio, you have to think about two things. One, on the defensive end, are we going to at times in the fourth quarter double him? Get the ball out of his hands, because its single coverage is not working. And the second thing, if Dylan Harper is able to play with that type of proficiency. Will we keep him in the latter moments of the game? The last 4 minutes, 3 minutes of the game, he was not in the game. And he was probably one of the only guys who were actually playing with the proficiency to stay on the floor against the Knicks. So those are two things that you have to think about. He does bring size and quickness to their lineup. So if you're San Antonio, those are the things I think you're going to have to really adjust in game 2.
You got to feel really good if you're the Knicks. Because, number one, that Brunson kid ain't scared of nobody. I'm going to score on anybody. I'm going to score on anybody. He has that tremendous confidence. But like I say, I've always said the key to this series is always going to be Big Cat. Because his ability to shoot the ball is so unique. I said the only way I think you can beat the Spurs is you got to get Victor away from the basket. Because if you let him stand back there and play safety, it's going to be tough. I would put Brunson in the I'd put Cat or whoever in the pick and roll every single time to get that big boy away from the basket. Because he is a great defender. He's the best defender in the league, but he can't do that from 30 feet from the basket.
Would you agree also, Shaq and Chuck, in the earlier series, the only team that gave the Knicks trouble so far was the Atlanta Hawks. And they did exploit the pick and roll the opposite way and said, we're going to put Brunson in the pick and roll and make him defend on him and not just have all of this energy on offense. And that was
but the Spurs guards aren't great offensively.
You don't think Fox or Harper or Castle could actually make that happen?
Castle's not good enough a shooter yet.
Listen, I understand what all the gimmicks that you're talking about, but my big man can't go 6 for 21.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't have a good game.
How about that?
Like I say,
before we start doing, gimmicks. Big guy got to play a whole lot better.
He's got to play better, but the Knicks didn't play good either. Now,
I understand that.
The Knicks didn't play good. It's all about all matchups are all about individual matchups. Like I say, and Ernie said it, if Big Cat's playing that aggressive, this is going to be a long ass series for the Spurs because his ability to shoot the three,
or a short one,
or a short one.
All right, Chuck. Good question. Big Cat playing aggressive. Big Wemby playing aggressive. Who comes out better?
Cat. Because
you sure about that?
Yeah, because Wemby's not an aggressive player. Shaq, one of your biggest problems is
he's aggressive at times.
One of your biggest problems is, as much as I love you, you always put your brain in other people. Everybody's not aggressive. Like, you can't. Now, let me tell you something.
When he played aggressive last year, he had 42 points.
He did. One game.
Okay, so
he only had 21 in game 7. He ain't like you. Now, listen. First of all, if he had your damn brain, we'd have to. No, he can't play with us. We'd have to make his. We'd like, Wemby he gonna play in our own league by himself. We're going to start a new league. Like, you think everybody has your personality? Wemby's a nice kid. Yeah, he can be aggressive at times, but he ain't that guy who gets to the gym and says, I'm going to take everybody's lunch money every day. He needs to get going and going and going. Like you,
but neither is Cat on a nightly basis.
Well,
and we've had that discussion before.
Yes.
That's why we say when he's aggressive like this.
And that's why
aggression versus aggression. Who you got? You got Cat?
I got Cat because he's double loaded. He can shoot the three and go to the basket. And Ernie, that's been me and Shaq's criticism of Cat.
That's what I'm saying.
But would you admit this is a different Cat now?
No, this Cat tonight.
No,
obviously
Ernie,
was.
Ernie, the whole playoffs, this has been a different Cat.
Can you say that Wembanyama, a 22-year-old in his first NBA final, had to feel this out?
No, it had nothing to do with feel out. He don't have. Listen, he's a great player. But Shaq was asking me about his aggressiveness. He's not an aggressive player. You can't assume. Like, Shaq is an aggressive person. Wemby, he's, like I say, he had 42 one game, then he had 21 in a game 7. He's just not, everybody, we can't make everybody.
But he's been averaging 30 against the Knicks. I mean, I get what you're saying, but his overall
30 ain't gonna get it done.
No, I'm just saying, if he's I will agree that Cat is playing unbelievable.
Yes, he is.
But an aggressive cat and aggressive Wemby wins.
Well, we don't have to agree.
That's what I was waiting for, Kenny.
Yeah. By the way, San Antonio Spurs, first time this postseason, they lost a game when leading at the half, and it's the first time the Knicks won a game in the finals when they trailed at the half since 1973, which was their last championship. We'll come back with
years
more.
old, Ernie.
You were what?
1 year old.
Ernie, who was on the set with you back then?
Hi, Mommy. I love you.
I have to think about that. Look at these people. Look at
I
these
was sitting with my
cockroaches.
mommy.
They travel all the way across the country, these cockroaches in New York.
Dang.
They like cockroaches, man. They won't die.